So now the object is only derived class object, but through that derived class object, we can access the members of base class also. Let's compile this and run. So we will run this and you can see the superclass print method and the derived class print method both are working fine. This is one simple technique. And we usually call this mechanism as aggregation. So aggregation is one of the code reusability technique where you can access the members of one class in another class without maintaining any relationship between the classes. So that is aggregation. Now another concept is we can access the members of one class in another class by defining a relationship between those classes. So this is a simple example of aggregation. This is a simple example of aggregation. Second important option is inheritance. Actually, inheritance, it is the technique of extending. Inheritance is the technique of extending a class. It is the technique of extending a class. It is a technique of extending the class. And important is it configures the relationship. It configures a relationship between classes. Inheritance is a technique of extending a class. Technically, inheritance is extensibility actually. It is extending a class. So the existing class is known as superclass. It is known as superclass. The existing class is known as superclass. The newly created class that extends existing class is known as derived class. Usually in a majority of programming languages which support OOPS, you call base class and derived class. Here we call as superclass. The base class is known as superclass. And very important here is the members of superclass are accessible to derived class just by using super keyword. That means without creating any object, we can access the members of one class in another class. So without creating an object, you can access the members of superclass in derived class. This type of relationship is known as we call it as is a relation. Is known as is a relation. Has a relation and is a relation. Another point is you can extend classes by using the keyword extends. You can extend classes by using the keyword extends. So that means without creating any relationship between the classes, we can access the members of superclass in derived class. How? See, I will remove this object of superclass. Now currently it is printing only derived class print method. Now I want to access the superclass print method. Through one object, I want to access both of them. Then this derived class can have a relationship with this superclass. So derived class can extend superclass by using the keyword extends. Keyword extends. And here important is it is using extends. It is extending superclass. Once it is extending superclass, then the members of superclass are accessible to derived class directly by using super keyword. So in the print method of class, so we are using directly keyword super dot print. It will get the super print method. That's it. So without creating any object, we can directly access the members of superclass in derived class. So this is again reusability, but reusability by configuring the relationship between the classes. So that is what actually the superclass is. So by using simple super keyword, now let's run this and see. When I compile and run this, I can access both superclass and derived class print method. Superclass and derived class print method. So this is one important point about code reusability. So you can reuse without any relationship between the classes. That's what generally we call as aggregation. We can reuse by maintaining the relationship between the classes. We generally call this as extensibility. So through extensibility also we can do that. We are creating an object of superclass in the derived class, that is aggregation. Without creating object, we are directly using the super keyword and accessing it. So reusability can be achieved by using aggregation and by using inheritance. Now here an example for inheritance. So this is an example for inheritance, and here we use the keyword super. Now so many points will come here. To understand, we have to know so many points here. Technically, when you are working with inheritance allows to extend a class Inheritance allows to extend